Right, so back again after a little bit of a break with another recording of a VOD review with a player. I have Onehan here with me. Go ahead and feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Onehan. I am the jungler for Supernova Dark Knighter, and I play a lot of League of Legends.
All right, excellent. Yeah, game we have here today is FPX versus V5. This is game one from last week in LPL. Haven't actually watched it, but I saw that it went a little interestingly. I think kill score was like tied by the end of the game, and I'm not really sure what that means, but I'm interested in seeing how it plays out. Unfortunately, this is where the draft actually starts. Let's just kind of take a look at it from here. We have Tryndamere, Thresh, and Xin banned on blue side, followed by Lee, Hecarim, Zeri. I mean, Lee, Hecarim, Zeri are pretty, I feel like, standard red side bans for that patch. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, Lee Sin in LPL, LCK
that
especially.
was not a priority.
Yeah, it's just basically just be winnable. Hecarim kind of feels the same way in the jungle right now. I feel like
Mhm.
nothing really beats him. Like you can say Udyr does, right? But
Yeah, and
yeah.
nothing that LPL would play beats him.
Hmm. Yeah, it just he has so much ability to just kind of stumble the game out. So I
Mhm.
understand. And then just Zeri just being Zeri what it currently is. So that kind of has to be banned, especially if you're willing to flex it into more than just bot lane.
Yeah.
Um, Tryndamere on red side feels weird to me as a ban. I feel like if you pick it too early for a red side comp, you could end up kind of getting fucked by picks on blue side that just deal with Tryndamere really well. Stuff like Gragas, stuff like Braum, right? Or even just Zillion
Yeah.
coming out. So that can be a little stressful if you want to try to early pick Tryndamere. I prefer Tryndamere bans in second rotation, but people can
Mhm.
go whatever route they want with it. Thresh makes sense just because if you plan on B1ing something like Ari, I guess, which is already weird. Jinx Thresh or Failure Thresh coming out can be really, really difficult to deal with in bot lane, and then Xin Zhao just feels like a placeholder ban. Like, is this would this? I don't know if this would be before or after the Xin R nerfs.
I think they're after.
Yeah, then if it's
And then I
after,
think
then it makes
they'll
it even
treat
less
him the
sense.
same as Lee Sin. Yeah,
Yeah, it makes
it's
even
a
less
weird
sense.
man, but yeah,
Um,
they like the champ.
okay, right, cool. So then that moves to B1 Ari. B1 Ari, I don't think she's B. I think she's like a blindable mid laner. I think she's fine, but do you really want to B1 the champion? I don't know.
Yeah, B1 in the champion and then pairing with Volibear seems like a weird thing to do just because FPX can kind of shut down the Volibear's game plan if they pick a mid laner that forces Prow on Ahri. Like if they just slam a Syndra or something into Ahri, it's really hard for the Volibear to like look for his dives and such.
Yeah, Syndra or
Whereas,
even Rise, because Rise is still
yeah,
good.
Rise.
I mean, I get that like normally Ari will be able to get prio and then Volibear forces dives really easily, so it looks like you're just playing towards bot side. But then you pick
Yeah.
MF as your bot laner, right? So is that
Mhm.
really something you need to like hard play towards to get it ahead? Like right now, I kind of feel like MF is something that you just kind of place there as
Yeah.
just a weak side pick, so your support can just play towards mid top, right?
Mhm.
So picking this and then having it this be an MF feels really awkward to me. I would have probably gone with an Aphelios or even a Varus instead. If just because you're gonna go what Jinx here. Um, on top of that, so they go Ari into Jinx Viego. How do you feel about picking Viego blind and early? I don't like it too
Um,
much.
I think he's kind of terrible. I wouldn't place him as even like a top five, top 10 jungler right now.
Yeah, and he's like really susceptible to being kited too, just because his range is so
Yeah.
low, and he the only real escape he has is also the main way he has of going in. It's just R, really.
Yep.
So it kind of feels really rough to pick him this early. I feel like he can get punished really hard, especially with Ari already showing, meaning mid
Yeah.
lane becomes very kind of ungankable.
And on top of that, you're blinding two of your lanes from the get-go. Like you're blinding the top side, so that's gone prio. You're
Hmm.
blinding the ADC, so you should assume that can lose prio. Even though Jinx is a good neutralizer, it can still get punished by something like Varus or Aphelios, at least in like the gank setup. So, I mean, it's hard for Viego to play. There shouldn't be anywhere for him to look.
Like the only upset is I know that LPL tends to like just their early game junglers that can affect the map early, which is why these two are off in ban phase.
Yeah.
But I guess Viego is one of the only ones left. What you have Viego, you have Volibear. Udyr can still do things, but Udyr can also be a little bit susceptible to kiting. So I mean, I guess I understand a little why it's picked, even though I don't think it's good.
Yeah, I assume it's just comfort.
Yeah, Volibear has a good matchup into Viego. MF is just MF. MF I think is really good right now. I just don't. I just think it's weird to pair these two things with it. Like I think
Yeah.
MF is actually insane right now, and people are really underutilizing it.
MF Embarrass would be my two.
Hmm.
Underplayed ADCs,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. And then we have R3 Gwen. Now, because of how patches work out, again, I'm not sure if this is before or after the Gwen range change, because this was last week,
Mhm.
and then Gwen range change was like 2 patches ago, right?
Yeah, it was two patches. I think they're on the
I think they're on this, yeah.
patch. Yeah, it
So
should be nerf.
okay, so the Gwen range change, and the other downside of having Gwen be picked here is you've already shown Viego, so you're losing most of the flexibility of the champion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great either, unless you're just really worried about it being banned, or you just think you're the better player.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a weird pick when we already see the Ari on V1. I feel like we can just take mid laner on 3 or
Hmm.
mid top flex. Like, we can, probably not the Jace, but just anything you can pick in mid lane to neutralize or
Hmm.
beat up the Ari, save the top pick for R5,
Yeah.
or a support pick for R5.
Yeah, I would fully agree. I feel like mid lane just gets locked here, and it's just way better. Or a mid top flex, like you said. Jace coming out because Gwen is forced into top lane, and then let's see the rest of the way this draft plays out. I'm gonna put in a double time. So after that we have Vex. I mean, I don't think Vex is that great, and I also feel like Vex mostly wants to be played with dive. So when I see Vex come out here, it's just like I don't really see Vex pairing well with the rest of this team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know why it gets banned.
Probably just they're scared of the mid lane matchup, which I don't think it's,
Yeah, it's not
I
that
don't think it
super
matters. Yeah.
relevant. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kench coming out. I think Kench here is actually good. Kench here is
Yeah,
good
I agree.
because you're playing it with Jinx. And
And
then
then it's the MF ulti.
yeah, Gnar also feels weird to me. Like Gnar has a fine matchup into Gwen, but like it's not like so good that you need to ban out for it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're looking at Nautilus, probably fine here. Lulu is still up, but Lulu gets eaten alive by MF, so
Mm-hmm.
probably don't want to pick stuff like that. Then we're draft finished, and then okay. So we're seeing Leona. Leona's fine. It pairs well with MF. It plays fine into Nautilus. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then Graves into Gwen. Pre-range nerf, I would say it's still Graves favored, but Gwen has ways to play around it. But after that, I feel like Graves just shoves Gwen directly into the dirt.
Yeah,
For
I agree. After the nerfs, it's over.
yeah, it's
I
really
think
fucked.
even after nerfs, Gwen will start winning eventually,
Hmm.
but it takes too long. You're gonna have what Volibear RPU. You're gonna have a Leona roaming on you, Ari on you. It's gonna be, yeah, you're
I
set
also
behind.
feel like with the comp that you're showing here, it's pretty heavy melee. I feel like this is
Mm-hmm.
the kind of great Graves game where you can literally just go the Gore Drinker Cleaver Hex Drinker build
Mm-hmm.
and just play with Ghost and just play for just sustain. And I feel like that actually makes him win this lane even longer than he would
Yeah,
otherwise.
I agree.
Um, then we're looking at just locking R5 size. I mean, there are good ultimates. Ari ult is good. Fucking MF ult is good. Leon ult's good. Still, Silas doesn't have a great lane into Akali, from what I understand. I feel like
Yeah,
Akali's charm just kind of messes with him a lot.
farm and wave clear.
Yeah, charm and wave clear. So Silas is just kind of playing to hope that he gets to a point where he can actually just run the game using ultimates, which
Yeah.
can happen, but still feels awkward to me to kind of just hope for that to happen. So, all right, let's see how level like just off of drafts alone. How do you see this game going? Like, who do you think you
Um,
actually favor here?
so I think V5 has like 100% autonomy in all of their lanes and in jungle. It seems like they kind of drafted winning things everywhere. But FPX took scaling advantage with the Jinx and with the Gwen. So if they get to like a 40-minute game, then I think FPX is winning, but that depends on like the soul that comes out because V5 is stacking drag soul by 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I agree. There's nothing that's going to stop that. And then we have Silas and Nautilus are really weird to play with, I think. The Gwen and the Jinx.
Hmm.
Like, I would probably just have taken Silas on 4, or just taking mid lane on 4 and save support pick for 5. See if we can take like a Taric or a Braum. Something that actually pairs with our Viego Gwen Jinx. Because now we just have two people that are kind of slamming their heads against Leona
Yeah, yeah,
while the other three are running away.
yeah, for sure. I think Braum would have been insane in this game, if it
Yeah.
was picked. But yeah, like overall, I kind of agree with you. V5 just kind of has full control over the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so assuming they don't make some sort of horrible mistake and let Jinx get random resets.
Yeah.
I don't really see a way that they should be losing team fights in a mid game because they should
Mm-hmm.
be able to run over bot with this pairing plus Ari and
Yep.
And then, yeah, like you said, stacking drakes and just kind of playing out the game should be pretty easy for them. All right, let's get to level 1. All right, I'm gonna play it at 1.5 to start. Okay, standard level 1, they're just going into 5 point. It's not really too much you can
Mhm.
really do. Bush control matters a little bit for Nautilus, but other than that, like, doesn't really matter much bot lane.
Yeah. I think the Jinx should take level 2 advantage either way.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Jinx
it's
should
kind
be
of just
able
for
to,
safety. Yeah.
like, I mean, MF can contest a little bit with Comet Poke and Comet Harass. Like, she can contest
Yeah.
HP, but she can't contest level 2 against
Mhm.
rockets.
I think Nautilus with W also has a bit of autonomy. Like he can walk up, force the relics on the wave better than Leona can.
Hold on, you said Nautilus with W?
Yeah, if he holds ability until he actually like needs to walk up and hit things.
I mean, I don't know if
He
Nautilus
goes
actually
for level
needs to
1 too.
take W here.
Yeah, I mean for second wave, if he doesn't need to, he's like level an ability at any point in the game. He can wait until second wave, use the W like later on just to force a level 2 earlier.
Yeah, I get you. But see, like this is like a really huge downside of actually picking this kind of a lane situation because it's like you're opting into this matchup knowing that you're also gonna have a losing top lane matchup, and this is just kind of what happens. I don't know what kind of mindset you have to just kind of decide that that choosing the Silas
Yeah.
into Arya matchup is just a good option to take as a mid laner. Same thing is happening top lane. Graves just zones Gwen entirely off the wave. Gwen won't have any sort of kill pressure till 6, and even then it's only if Graves really missteps.
Yeah.
Looks
Agree.
like, what are we looking at jungle clears here?
Both junglers did a
Four
3
camp.
camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, mm,
Well, actually, Volibear did 3 camp, but Viego
yeah.
doing 4 camp.
He didn't do the 5 camp. Do you think he finishes Wolves too?
Mm-hmm. So he might actually just be clearing back towards bot side. Um, yeah. Okay. So yeah, like yeah, this is kind of what I said would happen bot side. Like Jinx will get pushed, but MF will just mostly contest HP with
Yeah.
Comet.
And then at 6, MF is just kill Brio.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with Glacial and Nautilus. I feel like he just kind of dies till the MF at 6 if they ever like, find an E on him.
Mm-hmm. Alright, looking for a setup here. I feel like yeah, Ari's a little too far back. Yeah, flash for flash.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, unless he burns the flash early, there's no way that he actually gets anything here. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of like the downside of like watching a game with just like such fucked up lane states
Mm-hmm.
is that like there's not really too much to talk about because this is just like the way the lanes go for a while. Like no one can really do anything. You essentially are playing that you're essentially playing as Viego with 3 losing lanes, right?
Yeah, he's just trying to get his own stuff.
Like I don't even understand how Viego is expected to do anything in this game. Like what's the point of picking a really hard early game jungler and then giving him 3 losing lanes into a comp he doesn't even want to play into, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna pick this kind of a comp, you may as well have just gone something like Karthus. Alright, so here's a potential dive, but yeah, Vegas here to cover. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like nothing in this game is even going to happen to level 6 because it's just so abusive. Like this is fucking unplayable for Silas. This is a little rough, but still playable. I don't understand. I'm assuming she picked up this call after first reset. I don't see a world where
Yeah,
she would start call in this lane because she's just asking
nah,
for
she'd have
it.
more stacks on already too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Graves is just kind of doing whatever he wants topside into Gwen. Like this is just oh, it's so depressing. Like Viego pretty much can just get perma invaded from this stage.
Yep, he's gonna have Leona following around everywhere. I
Yeah.
don't think Nautilus Jinx could ever look for the MF.
Yeah, MF can just literally 1-2 LB to the lane, and when she hits 6, she'll have one free
Yep.
reset per, what, 1.5 minutes. So she just R's the wave on cooldown whenever it comes in and is crashing, and then there's no dive available.
Surprised that V5 is giving this drag though. They opted for resets on bot lane over drag. They're over a drag fight, I guess.
Well, the way that I
Just
see
gonna,
this is that, yeah, like the resets on bot lane make a little bit of sense, and also the fact that they were playing for the
yeah,
Wolf Camp on the timer that they were means that, like, they literally can't be on Dragon
yeah,
the time that they have to. So honestly, I think that playing for the Wolf Camp into the mid dive wasn't necessarily the best idea if they wanted to
yeah.
stack Drakes. Because I feel like
I
this
guess
game
in
plan is
here though, they get to set up the rift turret at least they with this play they get to set up a rift turret because the bot lane's
yeah.
gonna come back towards them. It is crashing a bit too early, so Ari and bot will both get pushed back.
Hmm.
So all the volley turret does is probably just take red raptors and walk the rift turret to the top mid prio.
Yeah. Especially this kind of HP, yeah, they're just gonna get the wave
Mhm.
and then reset and then flip probably. Actually, what LPL tends to do is they don't actually tend to just go for full flip, meaning it's like sending Graves bot and go and playing Rift that way. They just five
Mhm.
man. They just 5-man topside. So it looks like they're
Yeah.
probably just going to push it in into just MF and Leona just walking straight through bot river up to topside on Rift timer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Either that or probably has 6 on next camp, I believe, so he can look for. He can just trade the rift because he should assume he goes topside.
But I feel like trading Rift and First Dragon is really bad for a comp like this that gets outscaled. Like
Yes,
you
but
shouldn't.
I think Jinx is the main scaler. If Jinx is like a full item down, I don't know if it's possible to reach to the point where you outscale.
Not innately, but if Jinx gets a reset, even if she's a full item down, because it's worth so much. Ooh.
Well, by Jinx.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much Herald. That should pretty much be Herald. Leona can
Yeah.
literally just leave right now and walk up. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Because you have like you opt. I don't know understand how you opt into a matchup where you're just down 23 without like any intervention. Like it makes more sense if like you're getting like hard played around, right? But Nautilus burns Ari Flash level 4 and it just doesn't fucking matter. You're just down 23 because the matchup is so bad.
We're double blinding bot lane to give Silas counterpick into Ari. Come on.
Like it's
He wins this matchup.
oh my god, it's so sickening. Whatever. It's unfortunate. You know, I've actually seen a fair amount of this mid laner, FPX's mid laner, just kind of like casually watching LPL. It's not great down there. I watched him week 2 just get solo killed. I think he got solo killed in the Victor Corki matchup. Literally
Oh,
just like,
jeez.
and he was playing Corki. He was playing Corki. Just got auto attacked to death like level 1 or level 2. Like it was really gross. Just Victor Q just walking at him. But yeah, Graves is starting to be contested on the waves by Gwen. Like in a situation where it's like even if Graves can contest it, it doesn't realistically matter because Gwen will never be able to outpush him, and Graves going lifesteal build, he'll be able to actually just take damage and sustain through it. So no matter what
Yeah,
the
he's just
matchup,
gonna be crashing waves. He's playing like a cinched.
yeah,
He just wants to hit waves as bad against the tower until the tower gets hurt.
yep, and I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, personally, I think that lethality build would have been a little bit better this game, but I feel like the shield build just makes it easy for him to actually. Let me look at the setup on this and slow it down. All right, so they basically bot lane gets the wave out enough and then rotates early for this dragon play. Okay. Coming in through mid lane, they shouldn't be allowed to check this with
Yeah,
the
I
wall
need to
being
wait for
very
bot
close.
push.
Yeah, because it's not even urgent, right? Like, what's the actual timer on Drake right now? 51 seconds. Yeah, this just feels like it's such an in setup because it feels like they're looking for a potential bot dive after the mid pushing out. You know what I mean? So it looks like they're assuming that Jinx Nautilus are just sitting here or sitting here doing a camp or something. So when the
Yeah.
wave comes in, they're gonna look for the dive. But realistically speaking, you should be able to understand that on this timer, they should be starting to set up vision around Drake because one of their only win conditions now is just to get the second Drake. Because if they get the second Drake, they will 100% have enough time to scale out, right?
Mhm.
Just not needing to test Drakes at all. So there's a good chance they're in this river right now. And
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean, the worst part about it is Volibear face checking this with his E up instead
yeah,
of just like dropping an E on
dropping
the
the E and
bush.
backing up.
Yeah.
Because like even if you drop the E back up, like you should have your finger just on R just in case the hook
Yeah.
comes out, right? Because if the hook comes out and you just R, it's fine. Like it's not the end of the world. Like maybe you die to Nautilus burning R, but they have to burn flashes to get that, meaning Dragon's contestable later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume the comms were. I'm assuming the bot lane on V5 was just calling Jinx reset.
Yeah.
Is probably the simplest thing, and
Yeah.
Volibear kind of just mind off, walked into it, and she's dead.
This is just a one
Okay.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the alt positioning was a little bit awkward for MF, but it's still fine.
Yeah.
It got the job done. But yeah, if they were calling for just bot reset, that makes a lot more sense as to why they just assumed that they would just get them on reset for the dive. God, this bot lane matchup is actually just so abusive. Rich never dies here. I feel it. Oh no.
If you a little bit.
Yeah. If he fucks up the R of a wall, yeah, he can die. I guess.
I hate Sunder of Viego.
What?
It
So
feels
I've actually been thinking about this for a while, right? People defend Sunder Viego a lot as just upfront burst, HP, and all that stuff, right? But with the
yeah.
Sunder change and the Triforce changes, what do you think about Triforce versus Sunder right now?
I've seen so Triforce does more damage. It has the like less healing. It objectively does more
Yeah.
damage. I haven't tested like in practice tool. I've played in solo queue a few times to like feel it, but I haven't seen the exact numbers in practice tool.
Hmm.
But I mean, you aren't. I don't think you're playing. Or if you're going for like upfront burst, you're just going Kraken. If you're going for some tankiness and then some more burst, you're going for Triforce. And if you're going for what survivability,
Hmm.
and then you have nobody else on your team that gets you resets really like early on in the game, then you probably just aren't picking Viego.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the Sunder build really comes out of the fact that people are just taking Viego blind and in like
Yeah.
situations where you shouldn't be picking the champion anyway. Because I feel like most champions where like most situations where Viego actually wants to play the game, he can either go crit or he can go Triforce.
Yeah,
Like
I
one of
agree.
the two. So yeah, I think that Sunder is like yes, it gives you more sustain, but like do you need the sustain if you're picking Viego when you should be picking him? It's not like a meta where like Viego needs to be picked or you lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
So Karsa
I
still
see him as the job insurance jungler right now.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah. This guy is basically just going to play for E-Steel. I doubt it. He's actually going to go in because I don't think they can actually contest this. I feel like in every situation, yeah, they're just going to play for Steel. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't actually get the kill here. Nautilus always gets out. I don't know about that. I feel like Jaw jumping on Silas with RAR doesn't make much sense. I guess. Yeah, it's just a dead play. Like there's way too much mobility on the side of FPX right there in that spot.
Oh
And what kind
Jesus.
of a rotation do you have to be making? Like it's like you're so it's like the idea is with your tower down, you no longer have control of like this quadrant of your jungler, right?
Yeah.
Like so if you're going to go, you have to go around. Like you have to fully go around this way, or just be
Mm-hmm.
willing to go even up that route, right? If you want to get back to mid lane, you can't ever go through here because you know they just finished fucking trying to contest dragon and are going to be in this area getting vision control over your bot side jungle. Like I don't understand how there's ever a route where you're just walking straight past Grump and you think that that's okay because it's just giving away gold
It's
for no reason.
it's even worse when you see the replay.
Yeah, yeah, it's so much worse when you see the replay. Yeah, this guy never dies either. It's just super unfortunate. Like Graves has kind of stalled up the matchup topside. I feel like Gwen has probably played it well enough because it hasn't been much camera work up there, so I haven't really been looking at it too much.
Mhm.
But like this matchup topside has basically just been wave clear into wave clear. So Gwen
Yeah.
playing it even, I feel like is the best that they could possibly go for, and Gwen just never really having control over. Oops, sorry. Gwen never really having control over what's going on bot side. I
Mhm.
feel like it's just unlucky, right?
Yeah. I feel like the Graves isn't. People still treat him like the lane bully that he kind of was during World Season.
Hmm.
I don't think he is that anymore, though. He's kind of just a wave clear. I don't
I
think
mean,
he has damage to bully people out of the lane most of the time.
he does have matchups where he still does have that because like his damage wasn't really
Yeah.
hit at all. The only thing that was really hit was his damage when he's critting,
Yeah.
right? Like so he still is like a lane bully, right? He just there are less matchups now that than there were in Worlds where Graves can actually just like straight up fuck people up, right? So he
Mhm.
still has the Camille matchup. He still has early stages of the Tryndamere matchup. He still has what else is up there? The Gwen matchup early on. Like he still bullies these matchups. It's just that like he's more played for just kind of side laning.
Mhm.
Like his team fighting isn't good unless you just draft like a very low range comp into him, or you're going lethality, and you're playing it with like with like a poke comp with Graves just threatening one shot if you get hit by any skill shot.
Yeah.
Like the only downside I see, like I still think you should have gone lethality because there's a big downside I see with the shield bills. It also locks you out of Maw right now, which I feel like gets insane value in this game against Silas Gwen. Like does Gwen deal a lot of true damage? Yeah, but at the same time, like just having the 50 MR and having the lifeline shield be um, exist for magic damage instead of just all damage, I feel like would probably help him out a lot more this game.
I think, yeah, just full damage in general with the Eclipse should just be better. I don't think Graves is ever the target, like being hit. You have a volley and a Leona in front of you. I don't see a world where you're ever being like attacked.
I mean, you're
If the
essentially
silence is eating you, I think he insta dies.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like I think that you're essentially just playing a pick comp, right? And if you're playing a pick
Yeah.
comp, just having Graves RQ do as much damage as possible is just the best route to go. Like you don't necessarily have to survive. Graves is actually just goon that shit. what what the fuck? How does a dive happen here where it's just where Graves trades one for one? Like I feel like this is such like a minor misplay by what's it called, the Nautilus? Because if not, like, I feel like a lot of Nautilus for some reason are still playing as if Glacial Augment isn't Glacial Augment and it's Aftershock,
Yeah, it's
right?
Aftershock plus
Yeah,
Glacial.
yeah. They feel like if they hit them, then they just take no damage, right? But realistically speaking, like Nautilus gets one shot here every single time. I feel like the person that has to be opening up and taking tower has to be what's his name, Viego. It has to
Mhm.
be Viego with Nautilus. Like Nautilus can stand in front, but Nautilus can't stand in front and tank tower. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah.
Viego's the one that just tanks tower and just queues through, and then Nautilus layers CC after that, I feel like that play goes fine because Viego's
Mhm.
gonna be able to get the fucking reset after because this guy's 100% dead every single time. But it's the fact that Nautilus is like tanking tower and fucking and he has no tank stats whatsoever. Like look at his build right now. He literally has just a Kindle gem and a stopwatch. Like how does Nautilus ever not get one shot there?
I think he held his ulti for a really long time. By the time
Yeah,
he used ulti, he was already like dying to the tower shot, like the final tower shot that lasted him.
I feel like even
If
even
he had
just
opened with ulti, it
yeah
would have been easy. Yeah.
yeah just opening with R and then just going Q into auto, and this guy just gets one
Yep.
shot before
Chain
he can
CC.
move.
Yeah.
This is fine. Leona for some reason is clearing out wave bot side. I mean, I guess she's not really needed elsewhere, but still it feels odd that she's the one that they're doing that. Alright, so waves are pushing right now for V5. They are starting to push out for V5 on bot side as well. They're going to have timer on top side to do something if they'd like to, because they can just send Graves bot. There's no way this is just a solo kill. There's no way
Ah,
this. She
man.
walks back into it. She walks
Ah.
back into it. That's actually just a solo kill mid lane. Jesus Christ. I don't understand how that happens.
And the Jinx. The Jinx is never actually in a scale to the point I want to like see her at. She's going what into the Gale Force, and I don't think we're gonna see like a fan answer. I think this is gonna be a rapid fire
Yeah,
or a rune inside of her.
yeah. Like I think yeah, PD is the best here. Like 'cause she
Mhm.
doesn't really get hard outranged by anyone other than like MF in some spots. So just
Yeah.
going PD is just like 99% better. I feel. But FPX just being down 5k at the spot. I don't know what kind of mistake V5 has to make for this game to end up close. Because I know that the game ends up
There.
close. Like I looked at score lines and I looked at like some other shit. I know
Mhm.
this game ends up close, but for them to be just down 5k at 18 minutes or 17 minutes is just how. Oh, I can't wait to see what they fucking do. All right, so Graves can pretty much just play for one shot if he sees this guy. I don't think he knows he's here, but all right, he suspects he's
Easy way
about
to
to
tell
die.
him.
Yeah, like I feel like he suspects he's about to get dove, which is why he's waiting because of
Yeah.
the way that Silas is stacking the wave and the fact that he doesn't see vision on anyone on the map. So he's probably just playing it safe. But if he knew that it was just Viego going there, oh my god, he just one shots him. This feels like an overextend.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's a situation where it's like obviously this guy's not alone. You just like, you let him go. He's burnt everything. He's burnt his flash. He's burnt his ultimate already. Like you're not going to get on top of him because all your cooldowns are down except for R. Like she expected to just be able to like auto attack him to death or something, which just never happens. So you're better off just rotating into mid lane and just getting your wave there.
Mhm. I think the unfortunate part is off of this play, off of FPX trying to dive the Graves, they gave up complete pressure on Baron.
Yep.
Like they gave up their entire vision in the top side.
Yeah, I mean like it doesn't matter like a ton. Like obviously topside vision matters a little bit, but it could be worse because of the timer they're on right now. Right, so a lot of that
Yeah.
vision will be gone by the time Baron actually spawns, but if they manage to get a pick with the vision on the back end of it around like 1940, 1950, that turned into just an insta Baron on spawn.
Mm.
Waves bot side are starting to push out, I believe. Yeah, they're pushing out.
Yeah, it's gonna be slow.
Yeah, wave bot side are still pushing out, so FPX is gonna have to deal with that in about a minute or so. And top side. So yeah, V5 just has can do whatever they want to on the map for the next minute. Like literally nothing. Like they have nowhere they really need to be. All the waves are pushed. Gwen is starting to push out, so Gray should probably be rotating up to that in about 30 seconds. Looks like he's yeah he's dead, so he'll be rotating up after that. But wait, how did he? Did I miss him dying? How did he die?
Yeah, he got three man in the top side.
Oh,
They
in top jungle?
snuck up.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think I was looking at
or
waves when it
top
happened.
lane.
Yeah, I think I was looking at waves when it happened because I was like, I didn't even realize Graves was. I thought he was just on reset or something. Hmm, that's close. So all CDs were down. They're starting to come back up now. All right. I feel like this is a little late from Ari to be up there.
Yeah, I think earlier on in the game, like the last 2 minutes, any of that time could have been time where V5 could just start working on that inner tower. Like they kind of wasted a full minute and a half sitting around in the
Keeping the
jungle
pick.
keeping. Yeah, when they have Volleyball today, they have the MF, they can just walk top as 4 and start whittling down that inner.
I
They
mean,
have what, 4 minutes till drag and no Baron.
I don't necessarily think it's a full waste though, right? Because you're in a spot where the timer that they were doing at was like 1930. So if they
Mm-hmm.
manage to get the pick, like I said, they just kind of insta burst the Baron and they can just end the game off that, right? By like
Yeah.
23, 24 minutes. So I don't think it's like a full waste. Feel like it's like there's opportunity cost there, where it's like we're gonna like leave our lane stage to just kind of do whatever they need to do because we like I said like they had like the full minute where they can just do nothing
Mm-hmm.
on the map and still not really lose anything. So we're just gonna wait and just hope that someone comes up to shadow Gwen while she crashes the wave because we're worried we're setting up a pick here, here, or here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they try to come through their own jungle, we just get a pick and we turn that pick into Baron, right? But because they didn't do it and the one pick they tried to get was the Viego right here and it failed, now they're just in a spot where it's like, all right, now we're just late on getting our waves. We're gonna miss a couple minutes topside because it's a cannon, but it's not the end of the world, right? So Ari's able to get back up there, I think, and is able to, yeah, she's gonna get most of it, but I think she's
Yeah.
gonna lose a couple minions on top side, and then Graves is already dealing with bot side. Because like it's another kind of a weird situation because FPX is kind of has like a 1-3-1 comp going, but it's a 1-3-1 comp where Silas doesn't really beat either of their solo laners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think Silas ever hits a point where he beats Graves.
No, he
I don't
doesn't.
think like Silas doesn't like die to Ari probably, but he also can literally never kill Ari and Ari just wave clears into him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like, who is Silas actually beating? I feel like Gwen can eventually deal with Graves in some spots, but never here.
Yeah, but she'll never find a 1v1.
Yeah, she'll
This
never
is the
find a
problem.
1v1
Like,
because it's a pick comp.
yep, FPX should be like, or V5 should be taking all four quadrants of jungle camp. They should be taking waves. They should be just on the map. They don't need to look for fights or anything like that.
Yeah,
They
this
can
is
just
the thing with
strangle
the
them out.
power of MF and in sieges like this, is it puts you
Mhm,
in spots where you literally can't even contest the wave, and we try to go for kill. If your pick isn't on MF, you will lose the back end of the fight.
mhm.
And Graves just 1v2ing their fucking mid jungle. It's so disgusting. Okay, so I feel like this might be where something bad starts to happen here for FPX potentially
Yeah, this
because
is
they
the
burn the MF ulti already. So this gets kind of scary for them.
they don't get Jinx or Gwen.
Yeah, yeah, they overstep. The big ultimates are down. They definitely lose the back end of this fight.
Mhm.
Uh, if this guy gets a reset, it's over. Yeah, there it is. Mm-hmm. Yep, and that. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, when you're relying on MF like this, like what ends up happening a lot of the time is if MF ult is down, the siege is just dead. Right? If their
Yeah,
HP bars aren't low enough, the siege is just dead. Because unfortunately, MF ulted and it forced him off the tower, but it didn't force him off the tower while really dealing any damage. It just kind of forced stopwatch out of Nautilus.
I don't
Right?
know if they're even forced off a tower. I think they have the tower here. They just once they get this flash out of Gwen and we see the Arya on the flank, like we can see Jinx and Gwen are forced to run away even if like there's no
Mm-hmm.
full dive.
Yeah.
Like V5 just takes tower, they get Graves to push mid and then walk to bot,
Yeah.
and then they just like reestablish vision in whatever side they want to look for because drag is up
Mm-hmm.
like soon enough for them to swap towards bot side now with
I
the
feel.
Graves pushing bot before
Yeah.
mid.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I legitimately feel like as soon as Ari Charm misses on or sorry, once Ari Charm is Gale Forced here, I feel
Hmm.
like the call is just do tower, get out.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't think Leona's ever actually going in here, and if Leona goes in, you just leave her to die. You know what I mean? Like they can't
Yeah, I
get
agree.
Baron if only Leona's dead. The fact is, like once Leona continues to go, they follow off of it, and I feel like that's what really leads to them just losing the fight outright.
Hmm.
Because this guy doesn't die. Like it's close. Like there's a chance he does die, but even if he does die, I don't think that changes what happens afterward. You know what I mean? Like they still lose
Yeah.
Baron, they still lose everything. Like nothing really changes. Just means this guy's dead. Because now this guy, like, yeah. If they just leave directly after taking the tower instead of just expending more CDs and looking for a deeper fight, then they don't lose anything here. So like it's gone from a 5k gold lead to just 1.2 very very
Hmm.
quickly, and dragons are dead even. So this game is now just even as shit again.
Scary. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really really scary because we're looking at Jinx. Is she 131? Yes, but she's also two items. Oh, we saw rapid fire come out.
Yep. So we're okay. V5 is happy. They see a rapid fire.
Yeah, we see rapid fire come out. Excellent. Whatever. What do we see here? We're about to see Death Stands here. We have
Mhm.
Fimble Winter Silas. That's good. Looks like
That a
he's gonna need
frozen
Frozen
heart?
Heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what else this builds into that Silas would even want, right?
Uh, yeah,
Pretty
he's not
much
building
just this.
righteous.
Yeah. Wait, Righteous Glory still in the game? It's not in the game anymore.
Wait, not righteous. Crap. Zeke's. Zeke's.
Oh,
Zeke's.
Zeke.
Zeke's.
I was like, wait a minute.
Righteous glory.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it's in the game
Yes.
anymore. And yeah, we have Stopwatch coming out on Gwen, which means she's probably going into Zhonya's third, or
Mhm.
either that or Stopwatch into Cosmic. So yeah, it's like Gwen is really scary right now. Viego, weirdly enough, even though he's 301, I don't really, I'm not worried about him
Yeah, no,
if
he's
I'm
nothing.
V5. Like if he gets a reset, then he's scary, but like he shouldn't be getting resets easily. It should be like
Hmm.
if he gets a reset, you've already lost the fight,
And
right?
with his build, he can't help himself get resets at all. He's completely reliant on his team.
Yeah,
So he's completely reliant on Jinx because Silas is kind of useless for getting resets with Winter,
yeah.
and Gwen is going to be trapped inside lane like the
hmm
entire game. So it's yeah, I'm not worried about him. He's going to get a reset on Leona or something that nobody
I
can damage.
I will say this. I will say this. I actually think Silas is kind of getting scary here.
Yeah,
I feel like
he'll
Silas is
be
kind of getting scary.
invincible
Yeah.
at later items. Yeah.
Like I feel like he needs Frozen Heart and then maybe one more AP item and they just can't kill him. Period.
Hmm. What do you think about Even Shroud as an item?
I think it's a bad
Every
item.
time. Okay, good. Every time I see
Yeah.
this item, it's like 1,000 damage
Because
amped.
like you have to look at it
Nothing
like
else.
this, right? What kind of a situation are you eating a full combo from Leona in a pick comp and not already dying even before
Yeah,
the damage amp,
especially
right?
with Glacial coming
It's
out.
such
Yeah.
fucking overkill. It's such overkill, and instead, when your other option is something like Locket, I don't understand how you can justify it.
Yeah,
You know
especially
what I
against a
mean?
double reset comp
Yeah.
where two of the people in FPX want to kill somebody to like
hmm
snowball in the fight. Locket kind of shuts that down.
Like
I would
Locket
go
is
Locket into
such a
Redemption
massive item.
on Leona here even.
Yo, I've been saying this for I'm so happy you said that. I've been saying this for so long. Like, if you don't know what to build second out of support, Redemption is almost always the best second item.
Yes. I
Like,
love it.
Redemption is
Unless it's
such
like
an
Frozen
insane
Heart
item.
or Knight's Vow, it's Redemption.
Yeah. Unless it's Frozen or Night Trials Redemption. Like, sure, for sure. Because, like, Redemption is it's such a ridiculous fucking item if you actually
Yeah.
look at what it is.
It's rock
Like,
ulti.
it's so
Plus
broken.
Crisis Lore.
Yeah, like I tell supports I work with, I was like, just look at the numbers in this item, and you'll understand why I keep saying to build it second. Almost, I think like 80% of games is just the best second
Hmm.
item
Yeah,
because
I
it's so
agree. I
cheap too. It's like what 23 or 2400.
think
It used to
24.
be like 22, like, and it's been buffed as well. Like it got buffed like earlier this season, and I'm like, what world are we living in where they're buffing Redemption because people aren't building it? Well, the same reason they're buffing Soraka. So
Wait, there's
this
a
is
Soraka buff coming
no,
out?
no. I mean, like
Did
the
I?
same reason
Oh, okay.
they buff Soraka like 7, 8, 9 times because no one wants to
Yeah,
play
yeah,
it,
yeah, okay.
despite the
Even though
fact that
it's
it's just
actually
broken.
like OP, yeah. It's one
Yeah.
of the good karma matchups too.
hmm Well, actually, no. I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
I like
Do you mean
Soraka
in
into
bot lane
karma.
or in solo?
Yeah, bot lane and bot lane.
So in bot lane, the reason I don't think so is because of a lot of the ADs that Karma is paired with, right? So if you're pairing Karma with like an Ezreal or with a Varus, Soraka
Hmm.
wants to blow her fucking brains out because she deals so terribly with poke. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
I would say that more for the Varus though than the Ezreal, because if we have the Soraka into the Soraka is better than the Karma at both trading. Okay, if the Karma focuses wave, the Karma takes prio, but then the Soraka is not getting poked as hard by
Yeah.
like Karma or anything, and she can just kind of sustain. If the Karma tries to trade poke, then Soraka takes prio and wins the poke war. So I think Ezreal, if the Karma hard focus is prio, I think the Ezreal can be problematic, but even then, I think then Karma would be losing trades to Soraka, and over time, the Soraka would like be just easily landing Qs on the Karma when she moves up to like hit wave and such.
See, I don't think that's necessarily true. I feel like a lot of the time, Karma should be able to play around. Like the only upside for Soraka here is that Karma Q range and Soraka Q range are pretty much identical, right?
Yeah.
Which means if Karma wants to hit a Q that's not a mantra Q, she has to step into Soraka's Q range, which means she can play around
Yeah.
it, right?
So
But
yeah.
I feel like if Karma uses her speed from E, a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
time she can play around to attempt to either bait out Soraka Qs or just fucking step in and step out with E speed, right? So I think it's possible for it to play out that way, but I don't think it's as black and white as you're making
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's black and white. I think it's more just the. It's definitely not black and white. There are winning
Hmm.
situations for both, but I think looking at how Karma plays right now, most like 90% of her matchups are just kind of Karma wins outright, and I
Yep.
think Soraka's the one that can contest her. It will depend on ADC matchup,
Yeah.
but
Like
even
the.
if the Karma's like moving in and out with E, that takes a while. So the
Hmm.
like what the Soraka sees the Karma E come out, the Soraka can just Q on wave, take Prow with that,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
her Q is back up before the Karma E is back up, and
Yeah.
then she has that like 2 3 second window where she has like autonomy.
Hmm.
And the only time Karma I think can reliably win is with Mantra Q, because then she actually outranges Raka.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's rare. Like I don't think a Raka's gonna be forced out of lane by Mantra Qs.
No, not by much Qs alone. I think that if Karma's being paired with like a Jinx or an Aphelios or something like that, then I do
Mm-hmm.
think that the Soraka Karma lane becomes like just even and then Soraka outscales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But
And
if
then I
it's
would
any
say
sort of poke lane,
Ezreal
then it's
Karma.
fucked.
I
Yeah.
think Ezreal Karma is like probably maybe just the best bot lane in
Yeah,
the game right now.
it's the best bot lane on patch. Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing beats it.
Hmm. It's ridiculous. All right, so wave states are currently in favor for V5 topside, but FPX is yeah. So as soon as Gomux up to wave states are just whatever again. Because it's just Baron. Graves can get anything done for the next. I think Baron lasts for like another minute and a half. Oh, 30 seconds. 40 seconds, cool. So yeah, that's the end of their Baron push. After Baron, it's now 500 gold separation. Infernal's up in 3 minutes. Okay. Looks like it's lethality
I
coming out of MF. What's up?
I don't think okay. Infernal Soul doesn't seem game ending for V5. Like if V5 gets the Infernal Soul, it doesn't seem like something that beats FPX.
So while it's not game ending, it makes their game a lot. Hold on, let's just have this conversation before this pick happens.
Yeah. Okay.
It's while it's not game ending, I think it makes it a lot easier for them to play their comp out, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of the scare for V5 comes because they're playing pick comp, right? Can
Mhm.
we burst one or two targets before Jinx gets resets and ends the fight that way, right? So with Inferno coming out, having that burst being a lot higher is. Can you think about it? This Inferno is basically just like another spell in your rotation
Yeah.
for everyone. So like with Infernal burst coming out, it does make it a lot easier for them to just say let's burst one or two targets and then just make it a 3v5 right off the bat rather than just playing without the dragon, right? So while I don't think
Mhm.
it's necessarily a win condition in and of itself, I do think that it plays towards the strengths that V5 want to play towards, and it makes it easier if they get to a hyper late game scenario to play out the game if they get Infernal Soul. I feel like their chance to win goes from like 30-70 to like 40-60.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just worried about Gwen is gonna be
Yeah,
disgustingly
difficult.
weak on this like soul. She's still gonna be stuck on 2 items unless what?
Hmm.
Can she power into Zanya's? I don't think she can unless she gets kills somewhere randomly.
Well, we're not
But
hitting Soul for
Graves is
another
gonna be
eight
hitting.
minutes, so she might be
Yeah,
able to
I'm.
get Nazonias.
I don't know if she can farm like straight farm Zanya's
No,
in
I
that
don't think
time. I
she
don't know how
can.
much
I
she.
mean,
Yeah, so she
she's already
needs
got
to.
650, which means she needs about 2,000 gold. I don't know how much gold she's sitting on right now, but I know she hasn't reset in a while. So she
Okay.
actually might be able to have it.
Then yeah, yeah. We'll see how. It depends how close she is to Zanya's. Because if Graves is on 3 items while Gwen is on two on the soul fight, I don't think we want to fight it
Well, the thing is,
with
I
that
don't actually
alone.
think it matters if she has Zonia's components plus pot. Because as long as she has the
Yeah,
stopwatch and she has like a stopwatch plus like a codex plus a
it's
pot,
the same like
yeah, it's the
stats.
exact same thing. Even slightly stronger, weirdly enough, because of
Hmm.
the pot, right? So actually, like I think her finishing her third item doesn't actually matter.
The third item I would want to see on her wouldn't be Zanya's. I would want to see her sit on stopwatch and build into like demonic. But that
What's
that
demonic?
definitely won't be afforded.
Demonic.
So it could just be Zanya's third,
I don't know about
just for
demonic
the
here.
soul fight. She's into what 3 or 2 HP builders, and then a shield bond Graves and Graves MF are like the two most like the naturally highest. ranged HP.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the most,
Because like
or two of the highest
I
HP
get what you
champs in the
mean.
game.
I get what you mean by HP builders, right? With
Yeah.
Volibear and the Leona, right?
Hmm.
However, I don't think there's ever a world where she's adjusting her build for the Leona. Because I feel like she's more worried about actually she no matter what, she never loses to Volibear, she never loses to Leona, right? She never needs
Yeah.
help killing these champions. So most of her build is just how do I deal with Graves REMF, right? And in that
Mhm.
case, I would say an ideal item for her to build would just be Death Cap, but because she can't get there in the time and
Yeah,
manner,
that's
it would probably
hard.
just be
Yeah.
Cosmic
Mm.
or even Frozen if Silas wasn't building it.
Yeah, I would agree if she wasn't in like a full reset comp. I do think like when she's in the full reset comp, I think FPX's entire job is just to unload on the first person they can and get the resets.
Hmm. But
Where
Gwen is never an
even
option
though
to do that. Oh,
I think
sorry,
Gwen,
you said FPX, FPX. My fault. Yeah.
yeah, 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 I think Gwen is typically like around the front with the Nautilus and the Silas in most fights.
Hmm.
It's I think rare with they shouldn't have the vision set up. They shouldn't have the control to get the Gwen or like a flank or anything like that. So I think she is just unloading onto Volibear or Leona and killing them faster.
Hmm.
Where
So she's just playing straight front to back then.
I think so, yeah. I think they are just straight front to back.
Because weirdly
And then
enough,
she can
I
stand in
see.
the MF ulti
Hmm.
and do, like beat the Volibear down through the MF ulti,
Yeah.
which is useful.
Because weirdly enough, I see her playing two. I see her playing two potential ways, and that is one of them. But I also see her
Mhm.
playing flank with Ghost. You know
I
what I mean?
see flank. I just think it's hard because I'm still assuming at this point V5 has autonomy and they shouldn't, like, it should be hard for Gwen to find the flanks. I
I
think it's
don't think.
possible, and if you can find the flanks, then I think Cosmic
Hmm.
would be better, but I don't know
I don't think they
how.
necessarily have that anymore. They're gonna have it guaranteed in one lane because of their solo laners, right? But this whatever lane Gwen is in, I see Gwen getting push and rotate first at this stage in the game. Because they're most likely going to look to place Gwen against Ahri if they can, and if not, they're going to place
Mhm.
him against Graves, right? Will Graves get push and rotate first against Gwen? Yes, sometimes, right? Because I think Gwen's starting to get to
Yeah,
the point where she can basically just ghost R and look for
and we'll
solo
fight
kill.
him. Yeah.
But it's not guaranteed anymore, right? It's not like it was like at fucking like 10, 15 minutes where Graves can just
Mhm.
like cue the wave and it's just gone and that's that. Like, and then Ahri, I feel like Ahri has to play respectful against Gwen because she doesn't want to have to burn R for free, right? Because if Gwen just
Mhm.
like R's her once, it's just R for R and they're around the same cooldown, right? And then Gwen just gets control of the wave. So
Mhm.
if Gwen gets to lane against Ahri or gets to lane against Graves, can actually threaten with like pressure from Viego hovering, then I feel like she gets prio. And if she gets prio into the lane, then she's the first to rotate. And if she's the first to rotate, then MF can never realistically feel safe just pressing R on backline because she'll get one shot, right?
Mhm.
Which is why I'm saying like at this stage in the game with this gold value and like the way that the the scoreboard looks now, it's not necessarily just they never get prio. She's never able to play for flank anymore.
I think. Do you think once Baron runs out, the MF Leona is still like a significantly stronger 2v2?
Yes.
I think they can match the three strong. I think they can match the three as two.
Yeah.
Like the Viego, Jinx, Nautilus, they can match those three. So I think Volibear is the one that's able to affect sidelines. I don't think Viego can affect sidelines. Otherwise, they're just losing mid pro. And then MF Leona play into top lane, and
Hmm.
they stop the Gwen from rotating that way. I
So
think I
what
think top is almost neutral, but I think the mid is so hard losing that's kind of hard for like FPX to get
hmm
set up on things like that.
while I think they can match, the only time I think this is different is if Gwen is playing into Ahri. Because if Gwen is playing into Ahri,
Yeah, I
Gwen
can
gets
agree with
first move, in which case they can't just play the 2v3 alone. Volibear
that.
does have to cover, right?
Yeah, I
So
agree.
it's 50-50 depending on what the way the lane assignments go, right?
Hmm.
So like it's
Yeah,
still, but like, the main point that I had was that it's not like
black and white.
yeah these things aren't guaranteed
Yeah,
for Gwen to not be able to play flank anymore. So let's see what happens in this fucking pick because yeah, we've been
yeah.
on that for a little bit. All right, so
Defending
looks
an outer
like they
turret.
got the
Okay.
waves in. Q is gone, meaning the play is dead. No, they're going. Okay, that's really awkward. I feel like playing for this fucking turret on Baron timer here is really awkward for them, right? Because this is another situation. This is actually what I was talking about, right?
Hmm.
Gwen fucking plays off of top prio into flank here, right? And if Gwen's playing on flank here, these two are just fucked every single time,
Yeah,
right? Like I don't see
yeah.
a world where I'm just based off this right now. I'm just going to assume that they're just super fucked.
I'm surprised that FPX doesn't wipe here and then just end the game.
Yeah, yeah. So
President
she
of
gets
weapons
she
for
gets
intended.
insta one shot, and it's just yeah. And Gwen just runs through the whole team.
Yeah, what happens? How is this game not ended? I
I don't
guess
know.
yeah, I
I
guess
don't
it's
know.
not quite long enough timers. The Leona gets up or something.
I mean, Graves can't even wave clear this. Like he just gives an
Yeah,
inhibitor and
he's
that's
dead.
that. 'Cause I don't think they can outright end end. I feel like Graves and
Maybe
Ari
if
should be able to
next
hold
there.
this. Yeah, between the QR. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they should be doing this and they should be backing off because they're starting to come back up and around. Yeah, 4 5 seconds. Yep, and they're out. Your TP's up. Graves TP is up. That's it. Yep, that's it. Take their camps on the way out. Good.
hmm I mean, those are the kills that
Mhm.
Gwen needed either way.
Yeah, and now they're up 2K.
Yep.
Gwen is piss strong. Jinx is now a champion. She's going to be going IE third. It looks like. I mean, what else would they even take with the BF Surge? I guess she can take
Yeah.
BT,
No.
but I feel like that's really bad.
BT. Yeah. Be goof.
Like, so
Storm
there she
Razor.
just goes. Oh God, I check like every couple months to see if the item's still in the game, and I'm surprised that it is. Like I legitimately forget sometimes because it's only good sometimes is on like second item Tristana occasionally,
Yeah.
and like people say Caitlyn sometimes, but I just don't know when I would do it.
Caitlyn wants to snowball. I don't think she
Yeah,
can. I
exactly. She
mean,
can't
maybe Storm
afford to
Razor
go for a
helps her
lower damage
snowball, but
item.
yeah.
It mostly helps her chase down comps that like will just have high MS but no blinks. You
Okay,
know?
Zeri counter Storm Razor.
Oh God, just pick Zillion.
Yes, Nasus.
Yeah, Zillion Nasus. All right, so what are we looking at here? So FPX because of their late reset, because they were pretty much chased off by Ari and. See, this is something that actually I don't think teams do enough sometimes. Is when they play for this like really deep, when they play with this really deep inhibitor, right? And they're gonna get camps on their way out. Literally just chase them into your jungle on both ends every single time.
Yeah,
If an
as
objective's
long as you
coming
don't
up,
get
it
caught. Yeah.
guarantees you first. Yeah. You don't even have to be in range. You just have to be in range to stop to threaten to stop reset. So it forces them to
hmm
walk all the way to fucking here. Even there are even occasions you can chase them up to here, right? On both ends,
Yeah.
up to their entrances, and then just make them reset late. If they reset late and your people can get on the map first, then you just get control over every single objective way before. Is this really 1080? This looks like so shit. Whatever. That's unfortunate.
This fight, this fight's gonna be terrible. It should be terrible for V5 if like FPX hit almost all of their
Yeah.
item spikes
And all of
coming to this fight.
their ults coming back up as well.
Yeah. Whereas what Ari's on 2 items with what? What is she building
Ari's
third?
on
Is that
two, and
the
she built Void Staff second here, which
wait
I feel
stuff?
like is so
Yeah.
shit. It's so. Is there even a single piece? Yeah, there's just there's two. There's what three fucking MR boots, and we're building Void Staff for that. Really? When the second half of your Q is dealing true damage? Like I don't
Yeah.
understand why
It's
we're.
necessary.
I don't get it.
And then Volley doesn't have this force of nature yet.
Yep.
Bit unfortunate. Volibear's 031 useful
They're
champion
just
unless he's diving.
It's so sick. It's just a
Okay,
better. It's
this
just
is
another good ult for Silas. Yeah, this is a good play
yeah,
for V5.
yeah, I
They
agree.
just acknowledge that they can't contest Dragon, so they take mid prio into exposed inhibitor. Good. That's an avenue
Mhm.
for you to actually win the game if you manage to win a fight now. Hold on.
And they
Did,
still
did,
get
did,
back in
did
time
they
to
leave him?
contest.
Did they leave him fully alone there?
Solo,
There's
yes.
no way they left him fully alone there, correct? Oh
Sundra
no.
GA Viego solos Dragon within 45 seconds, I'm sure.
Bro.
But Gwen
I
has the
feel
flank.
like you literally just have Gwen pull off of her fucking tower and
Yeah, I agree.
just go for the Drake because I feel like Infernal here is so big for you.
hmm
Now you're actually flipping because if Gwen is there, it's not a flip. Oh
Lose
no.
flip, yeah.
Oh
Gwen
no.
has a great flank. She might just like run at MF, wipe the fight. No, she's
No, she
okay.
doesn't have
Hitting
ghost. She doesn't
Volibear.
have ghost. She doesn't have ghost.
Yeah. Nope, she's doing it anyways.
Yeah. Like she can't like run down the whole team. She can run down one team.
Yeah.
If MF just stands still outside of alt
Rest
range.
of our, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
How
like a
does that?
situation where like yes you win the fight, but this dragon shouldn't be a flip because now they're
Yeah.
on fucking soul point. Like I feel like you just pull Gwen off early
Uh,
if you know you need to actually go for the Drake.
I also think they need to just be on Baron now. I don't think this wave matters.
Hmm.
Just get the time on Baron.
Yeah.
Their resets earlier.
So do you want to know something funny about this?
Hmm.
This is game one of this series, right?
Yeah.
V5 2-0's the series.
How does FPX lose
I
from
don't
here?
know
What did
how
they do?
FPS loses this game. V5 2-0's the series. which is why I was so
It's so
because like
weird.
when I saw the early game when they were just up 5K, what I assumed was that like oh they have a weird misstep and then close out, right?
Yeah.
But now that I'm seeing that every single game that I've picked so far for this fucking series that I'm doing has actually just like been the most nightmarish thing on the planet. All right, so another free fucking dragon. I mean not dragon baron. This guy just dies here. He has to. No way. No way. She doesn't. Does she not see him or
No,
no?
he's
She
out of
doesn't
there.
see him. She doesn't see him. She doesn't see him. She doesn't see
Yeah.
him. She doesn't see him. Okay. All right. That okay. I get it. She doesn't see him.
All right, I'm gonna place bets. LWX is gonna like Gale Force into an RH arm or something. That's the only way
LGM.
they lose.
He has to make a horrible mistake. You know what? It's either him or Gwen gets picked
Yeah.
because I feel like at this point both of them are about equally important. Because Gwen has been
Hmm.
consistently playing flank.
Her W alone just makes it impossible for MF to
Yeah,
click
because
ulti.
look at what happens in this fight. It's so funny. Gwen literally is just autoing MF from inside of her W, taking zero damage. I'm like, oh god. Imagine how tilting that must be. Alright, so MF is going, what's it called? What's the Shroud one? I'm
Edge of
blanking.
Knights.
Yeah, Edge of Night. Jinx has IE. She also has Stopwatch. Jinx has, this is like the game is over. Jinx has IE and Stopwatch. How do you kill?
Yes.
Is Silas really going into Gargoyle?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Seems a
feel
little
like
overkill.
yeah, it's overkill. Wouldn't you just go like Cosmic here or Zonia? Probably just Cosmic, right? Just play for CDs and
Yeah, I think
just
it's just
WCD.
cosmic. The fights are long.
Yeah, the fights are long as hell. It's a fucking item that gives you 100 or 120 AP. I forget which one. Like
It's
once it's
120.
stacked at least. Yeah, 120. It gives you
Yeah.
120 AP. So it's like why not just oh, I see what happened.
They let MF hit MF Bolty.
Oh, it's like you know that MF is over the wall. You know she's there. Why are you picking the tankiest guy on their fucking team in a choke? Oh, in a choke of all places. In a fucking choke.
Yeah. And Clit is just what, too greedy to ulti out of
Yeah.
it.
And then Gwen is playing on because she has nowhere to TP to. She's just playing towards bot tower.
Are they gonna die again? Okay.
They
Whew.
can run Jinx down here. I feel like they can because they kill Silas too.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think wait. I'd just be hitting in inbound Quinn. I think I just 1v2
Gwen
these
can't.
guys.
Gwen can't. Because all Arya has to do is just RE, and she dies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She went Morello.
For the
They
side
can't
lane.
even fucking hit you. I don't understand.
One
Uh,
person on the enemy team heals,
I,
and it is only Graves' fucking shield bow.
mhm.
Good item.
So like it, I guess Volibear multiple W's, but who's getting multiple W's with
She's not
Volibear?
getting
Like
multiple.
Ari getting her kill reset heal? Like I
Yeah.
I just don't understand what's happening. Like Eclipse maybe. Uh, so yeah, this is the main problem, right? Because really all they have to do is wait for next wave to come in, right? Wait for next wave
Mhm.
to come in, and they don't full commit to this. They just go for like a chunk or whatever. Because Silas is fine. Is fine doing what he is right here because he can literally just play down and not have to worry about dying to MF ult, right? Because he's tanky as shit and he can sustain. But it's like, why are you playing for full kill here? What does this full kill here even get you? It gets you the tower you would get anyway. You still don't get
Mhm.
inhibitor, right? Because MF can just ult the wave as it comes in. Like you still don't get inhibitor, so it's like just play for the guaranteed tower you have anyway, or even better, play it slow because Gwen is fucking going to 1v2 the bot side. You don't
Yep.
have
Yeah,
you're
I
not
agree.
forced to do literally anything here. And next dragon is spawning. If I had to guess, the timer's not up right now. Probably in like 2.5 minutes. Like you're allowed to just play this fucking slowly and just get shit for free. Because this kill, realistically speaking, I don't think it gets you anything. Like Baron's not up. Dragon's not up for another for at that point like 2.5 minutes. Now it's like 120, and your Gwen is pushing for free on bot side. Like I don't know why people are so against just doing nothing to win the game for free.
LPL just doesn't play scale ups. They think they're getting outscaled here.
It's so
Need to
sad
end.
though. It's so sad. Right, so Silas is going zero damage build, and Jinx has GA. Oh, Jinx has GA though. Okay.
I don't understand ever. I hate GA as an
Yeah,
item. I'm probably a little bit biased on it, but why would you ever go GA over like Bloodthirster?
yeah. I think yeah. If you want something defensive, just go BT.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like twice the damage, three
hmm
times the damage.
yeah. And also, it's not useless once you've died once. Because like
Yeah.
I don't understand where there's a world where you're playing into a pick comp, right? This is the comp you're playing into, and you think, yes, I certainly won't just die again after GA goes down. You know what I mean? Like just
Hopefully
hold the
Leona will be
stopwatch
dead
and
and
go
not stun
BT.
me.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Leona, any of these people can one shot you after you fucking respawn. Like if there's ever a point where Jinx is dead, the rest of her team is also dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no one on this team other than maybe like Ari is running straight through fucking front or back line to just try to one shot you to where the GA
Yeah,
actually fucking
exactly.
matters. It's
There's
just
like no dive coming out.
yeah.
Which is
Honestly,
why I
I,
don't
I
think she
would have
needs
rather
Gale
her
Force
just
either,
built
but
fucking Zonias. I would have rather her just built Zonias in this case.
yeah, at least it works over and
Yeah,
over.
because like you're getting similar damage anyway. Like you get for 40 AD and some armor, it's just not worth it. Like even Death's Dance would be better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're gonna lose this. They're flipping it. They are flipping it. They are flipping it.
Charlie Clid doesn't
Just
lose another smite in a row.
oh
Come on.
man. Okay, so they're playing hard for mid. I feel like their better option here is literally just to play this as slow as possible, right? Sending Gwen bot side and just threaten here and say either you have to send 2-3 to stop Gwen, in which case we just take this for free, or Gwen just ends the fucking game,
Yeah. I
right?
mean,
Because
I
she has
think,
TP up here, right?
yeah.
Because as soon as they send 2, Gwen just TPs and that's that.
Mm.
I feel like the way the map's being played here is just really, really poor.
It should also just, if they're gonna fight, it has to be a flank from Gwen. Like,
Yeah,
all I
it
want to
has to
see is
be.
a Gwen on the MF and the Nautilus is, like, face diving into
Every
Leona.
single fight that they've won has been Gwen flank.
Yeah, like, if I'm Gwen, I'm in pit right here waiting. I want my Nautilus to, once the Volibear contest this entrance, I want him to go on the Volibear. I'm going over the wall as Gwen, and I'm looking for the MF with my Ghost up.
Yep, yep. She has literally everything up. She has TP. You have pressure in a side lane where you can end the game through. So it's like, why are we in a spot here where we're just, oh, the dragon spawn audit it. We're just gonna flip it. Fuck it. Who cares? Like, when the enemy team's on soul point, we're not even on fucking soul point.
Even here, if not, like, Nautilus could just go on the Volibear.
And then they just
And we,
give full,
yeah.
they give full control over fucking oh, okay, Silas
Oh,
gets
they
it,
won
and then they
fine.
just, nah, it doesn't even fucking matter
Fucking
because
tied
they're,
MF.
yeah, because they're all in pit and just died in MF. Yeah, like, what the
This was
fuck,
just
man?
grief.
No wonder FPX loses this fucking game. Because
Yeah,
like
so T1 wins
it's
Worlds.
so
Okay.
it's so fucked. FPX is because it's such a fuck situation too. Because they try to pull it out, but then they randomly just stop. I feel like if they wanted to pull it out, they should pull it to like fucking here.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know what I mean? So at least then MF can't stand here. She has to stand here, and if she stands here, she just gets fucking killed. You know what I mean? But instead, they just fucking they half-assed pull it out. Like I would rather them just try to burst it entirely than pull it out to here and that's it. Like it feels so fucking lazy. Like
That's one.
they can never force them out of River because of the way their champions operate. If they try to contest River at all, they just fucking lose. Oh, that's Clid GA. Jinx 100% dies here. She has to die here. She has to die here.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they just,
Yeah. There she
oh,
is. Oh,
GA.
here's the GA being used then. Yeah. It's like just throwing away 2,800 gold. Oh God. So they end here, right? Yeah, they end here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're escorting the wave. I feel like this is a game that FPX it felt so unlosable based off the comp and the way that the last 2-3 fights went, but they just played the map at the end so fucking poorly. Between the play
Hmm.
that happened fucking down here and just this dragon right here is just so awful. Like this is like an easy fucking win from this stage after they let you
Yeah.
get Baron for free.
And it's
Oh,
weird to see these being like the mistakes from an LPL team. Normally LPL is like they're the good Rift Herald setups. Like they're the
hmm
good drag setups, but like half the fights these games have just been them griefing
yeah. I mean,
a Rift or a drag setup.
I don't think V5 did anything really really bad, right?
No, they
Aside
just
aside from just like the one pick here, right?
yeah,
Where
I
they
agree.
just overstepped on that tower. That's the one mistake they made, I think, the entire game.
Yeah.
Like everything aside from that, I think they played really well. And I think that the mistakes you see from FPX are mistakes that you would expect to see from a team that's 7-7,
Yeah, for sure.
right? But they're still really upsetting to see because they're really not that hard. Like it's really not that hard to just understand, hey, if we just wait a little bit and we hang out a little bit, this game is just over. We win. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
it's just really unfortunate. And then we have Black Cleaver on fucking Viego. I
He's gonna
didn't
be
even
hitting
see that
people, I
till now.
promise.
I I didn't even see that till now. He has Black fucking Cleaver. I didn't even
What?
see it.
FPX lost because they have two Guardian Angels.
Ooh,
I'll die on that
yeah,
hill.
yeah. I mean, maybe, maybe. You know, it's fucked too.
Viego's useless with any third item, but
Fucking Gwen could have had full
fucking
fucking death
Rabadons.
cap. She could have had full
Yeah.
death cap and just gotten the 800 gold item, just
Hmm.
Oblivion Orb, and just called it a day. But instead, she goes full Morello because she definitely needs it. Like Silas is going into full fucking tank, and
These
also,
supports buy so many controls too. Like neither of
yeah,
them got the second item.
yeah.
They
Control boards
actually
are
spent like
overbought
1,500 each. Yeah.
worldwide. Worldwide
Yeah.
overbought. It's really
I
upsetting.
agree.
But no, that's fucked up. I don't like this. Like, I feel like this is a game that FPX was gifted.
Hmm.
Um, by V. First they were getting stomped, so I guess they were gifted the game and then they gave it back. I don't know. I think Gwen played it out pretty well. Silas mostly did what he needed to do. I think weirdly enough, Jinx played it out okay, aside from like the random solo kill she gave to MF early
Yeah.
on and getting picked in lane that one time. But like aside from that, I feel like you can't really complain too much from those three. It's just the uh, the Viego and just the team play pick fucking over here that just ruined everything. Really.
Yep. It was just that play and then the drag play.
Yeah, yeah,
At
yeah.
least Ari went into Rabadons. I don't know why she grabbed the Fiendish Codex.
She was going into
I don't know
Zeus
if.
next.
Okay, she had it before she went into the Needlessly Large Rod. She went Codex into Rod into Rabadons. So she was just kind of sitting on the Codex for the last 15 minutes.
Maybe she thought she wanted fucking
Changed her mind.
yeah, maybe she thought she wanted Zonia's earlier and then just decided to just
Yeah.
like don't deal any damage.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
I need to
it's good.
go
It's
into
good she
death cap.
changed her mind.
Yeah, I mean yeah, it's good. I'm glad for her. I'm happy for her, but you
Yeah.
know, like still kind of weird. It's sad. It's sad. All right, any closing points you want to touch on here?
I don't like Silas.
I don't like Silas either. I feel like Silas
Or
is a
Diego.
good R5 and nothing else.
Mhm.
Like it should not be picked before R5, but people would pick it on like fucking
Yeah.
2-3 at this point because whatever reason. Yeah, Viego. I feel like we both agreed on too. This champ fucking sucks. This champ fucking sucks. Nautilus is overpicked, but it was fine here.
He's kind of like a jack of all trades. He kind of does everything okay.
Yeah,
So
actually,
I'm okay with Nautilus.
I was listening to Deus in a fucking server talk about B1 Nautilus. And he's basically talking about just like the reason people are B1ing this fucking champion literally just comes down to what was it? It's consistent. It gives supports access to engage, which is really important in this meta because the top laners and mid laners are being played, as well as the junglers,
Yes.
and it doesn't over incentivize Merc's value like Leona does.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So like
That and I think it is a stronger skirmisher than Leona in most 2v2s, like jungle 2v2s.
it
Leona
can be.
is
It can be.
dodgeable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
think Nautilus
here's the
has the play click is the only reason.
yeah. By stronger skirmisher, you mean supports are bad and can't hit skill shots? Yes.
Yes.
If that's what
I
you
mean,
mean, then yeah, Nautilus is the stronger
Xerath would
support.
be the best support in the game if people could hit skill shots.
Yeah, Xerath
Karma
would
would be
be
unpickable
fucking
because Xerath would just be slammed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I made this tweet like fucking 2.5 months ago
Hmm.
about enchanters just being the hardest to play supports in the game,
Yeah, I agree.
and I got
But supports are just like the worst
yeah,
players, so it doesn't
they're
matter.
so bad it doesn't matter. Yeah, like I got so much shit for that fucking tweet. I swear to God.
No, everybody thinks Nautilus and Leona are harder than Karma. I don't
Yeah,
understand why.
yeah. I don't know what world people are like saying. Yeah, dude. The brain power it takes to play these fucking absolute hulking titans, where you can just walk up to someone's face in a spot you're not allowed to
Literally,
fucking be,
away.
and just walk away or hook away, and you're like, yeah, I never have to learn where I am and am not allowed to be because I can just go wherever I want to,
Like
and
fucking
turn it
Mundo.
into an engage. Yeah, but this is the world they're living in where these champions are just
Literally.
harder. When we're B1ing Nautilus because supports can't handle anything else. Oh, it's so sad. All right.